Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World of Warcraft. This is the pre-patch for Battle for Azeroth, and I wanted to update you guys on a few things. I made a video last time about AV and Artelic Valley, I can't say it right, and Isle of Conquest, and unfortunately those have been patched up. The scaling is proper now, and requires a lot more work than being in there for 3, 4, 5 minutes kind of thing, so I just wanted to update you guys on that and let you know that's over. Groups are now in. My buddy Andy here was talking to me. He's Calorax in-game, and you can join our group. I will go ahead and put a link in. There's an invite link. Make sure if you're ever making these out there, you do a never expire, and then you can do unlimited uses, and then you can generate the link. For example, generate link. And there you go. You can see it. And I can go ahead and copy this link, and I will put it in the comments of this video, and I'll pin it for you guys, and then you can join. Basically, it's an in-game chat. I thought it would work with Battle.net as well, like work on the Battle.net client, but apparently those are two different things. It seems very stupid and silly. Don't ask me why, but that's how it is. But anyways, you can create your own groups as well in-game and invite friends. You can join a community, of course, if you have the link, basically just a small code. So I would assume just this little part would work. Couldn't invite, player already in, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'm already in it, so I can't just join my own again. But that's sort of the idea. It also has voice chat, things like that. You won't hear me probably on voice chat anyways. I have very little bandwidth right now since I play the game tethered, so I can't really afford to, you know, be on the voice chat while tethering. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the neat features in the pre-patch. So they have the war mode. Basically, you go to your talents. Here you go. And you go to your talent tree over here. And, of course, my talents are set up and changed to my DK, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, you have PvP talents you can pick, and then you have your war mode. There you go.
For the Alliance.
We are in war mode. Now, I want to tell you one bug about this before I tell you about the positives. If you go ahead and join a random group on, let's say, custom group, find a group, and I'm like, ooh, I like to join some farming group, right? So you just type in farming, and or farm. Let's just type farm, sorry. Apparently farming is not being used today. So if I join some random farm group here, there's a titanium farm here, so I don't know if that's a certain zone or whatever. But let's just say, okay, sure, I'll join this group. If I'm in PvP mode, or the new war mode, I should call it, and the leader isn't, I won't actually see them. I will be in a different phase. That's a bit of a bug. I don't know how Blizzard's going to work on that. I don't know if they have suggestions or ideas on that, but right now it's best to always disable war mode before doing your groups, because if you don't, you're going to probably have issues. Now, if your leader is in war mode, then of course you're going to have to get to war mode to join them. So it's going to be up and down, but I feel like overall you're going to probably have less people in war mode than in war mode. But during leveling, you get 10% EXP increase. I believe you also get increased quest reward. So for like, you know, if you get like, let's say, I don't know, 100 certain currency for a daily quest, so you probably get 110 of it, for example. I don't know if it affects rep and things. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure, of course. But that's the new thing. The other bonus is you get to use PvP talents. Now, all of mine are passive. The reason I do that is because I'm not the smartest person on Earth. I will admit that. And my mind is a bit derpy. That's just how I am. I have a lot on my mind, I guess, and for some things like this, it just doesn't work so well. So I decided I'm going to use all passive skills. So if I get, you know, the abilities are awesome when I'm in PvP, sure, it'll help a bit more. Probably not the best loadout, but at least, you know, I can use it in PvE and PvP. And PvE, I don't have to be like, oh, why can't I use this one ability? Oh, right, that ability doesn't exist, blah, blah, blah. It's a passive. Now, the cool thing about war mode is if you're in war mode, you can actually use your abilities out in PvE world. So even though these don't have an actual effect out here, they will be used in the normal world right now, which is a very awesome feature. And I think that really, you know, kind of steps up the game. You could see this one, only change while in a town or blah, blah, blah. Okay, so anti-magic zone. That's a skill, right? Yeah, okay. So we can put that on our bar. You can just drag it right off of this. So let's go out in an open zone, and you should be able to... Oh, there you go. There you go. See that? So I'm not even in PvP, but the effects can be used in the PvP, in a PvE environment. I'm saying PvP and PvE too much here. But yeah, so that's really awesome. And basically right now it's just PvP and nothing much about it. I think next week they're going to have some stuff in Darkshore, and I will do some videos on that. I will do the, chain and some of the quest stuff. But right now there's nothing here, Teldrassil is not burning or anything right now. It's normal as ever can be. I don't think there's anything happening in this area. As far as I know, it's just a normal day. But what'll happen there is they'll have some quests. You'll go there, and then you'll see the burning and take part. Blah blah blah. They're gonna have repetitive world quests there as well once you've unlocked it. And apparently there's going to be some PvP stuff as well, so we'll have to look into that. Maybe there's some PvP quests, maybe there's some special PvP objectives, etc., which would be really cool, but we don't know much about that yet. Now, let's talk about something probably somewhat important to everyone, legendary items. So we have 2 legendary items, and we have them right here. And we're going to go back to our class hall. Your class hall will look completely different, and mine's not going to actually have it there now I think about it, so it won't really matter, but it'll be important when I show you in Dalaran. But in your class hall, if you're 110, you should be able to see a chest there, though I think if you claimed it for the week, you will not see the chest till next week. But everyone should have, and I'll have to look up the name just to give you the proper name. So our chests are in here somewhere. It's a big-ass chest. It's not hard to miss. In fact, that guy might have been bouncing around it. I don't know. It's probably like right there or over here. Who knows? But the currency is called... I got some of it sitting around here. I just got to find it for you. Oh, here it is, and I have 1,000 of it again. Is Waking Essence. Well, Waking Essence now is very useful because it can be used to buy legendaries. And the idea is it's welfare legendaries 2.0. One time we used to call it epic welfare epics. Before I go, your class hall upgrader still works, but they removed, including, by the way, you need to have this one here to increase your number of legendaries. You can actually only wear 2 legendaries in Legion, not 3, not 4, just 2 max. You start out with 1 as far as I can tell. And this guy here, for DKs and other classes, I think they had this. This guy, every 18 hours, would let you... Well, you can use them anytime, but you basically would use 50 of your resources or something like that, of your order resources. Maybe it was even less. But anyways, you would use it, and you could have this dragon that would fight for you. And basically what you would do is you'd go to the map and you would say, okay, I'm lazy, so I hate pet battles, right? So I'd go to somewhere where there's a pet battle going here. Here's a pet battle. Oh, I want those bandages. And you would have an icon down here on the map, and you'd click it. And, of course, I clicked on the map, it went somewhere else. And then you would click the daily quests, or not daily quests, the world quests. I mean, they are daily, but they should be called world quests. And it would auto-complete it, and it does this every 18 hours. It's like a one-shot kind of thing. But it was really awesome. Unfortunately, that's gone. The ingredient, it was in my inventory. I might have finally vendored it. No, here it is. It's called Exhausted Frost Crux instead now. So it's gone, unfortunately. So let me show you where to go buy those legendaries. And you'll see tons of people there right now buying a crap ton of them. Right now. So basically Blizzard is just preparing welfare legendaries, welfare epics, though they're doing a bad job on the epics in the PvP field, because all these chests I'm holding on to, which expire in 3 days, so I have to open them up anyways, they do not obtain armor. They only have some basic resources, like, for example, you might get some laystone in one of them, or you'll get a potion in another, and then they have sometimes the marks, but I'll show you more than that in a second. Anyways, this is the right spot, I think, right here. And so you go to the blacksmith trainer and you browse his goods, and this is where you buy your legendaries. So I bought these boots for sure. They're a must. And you're wondering, why, Kane, are they a must? Well, a Death Knight is slow. If you guys have been a Death Knight and run dungeons with others, unless you're really good or maybe you have another spec that offers some sort of boost, you notice you're kind of slow. It kind of sucks. Well, this is a nice piece of item because it offers increased movement speed by 75% of your haste, critical strike, mastery, or versatility, whichever is highest. That is beautiful because, my friends, look at this. I have an add-on that tells me more stats information, but I actually have a run speed of 118 now. And if I use something like Death Advance, which, yes, Death Advance is just a regular skill now, so you always have it. So let's just say I can use this every 45 seconds for 30%, blah, blah, blah. So watch this. I'm going to use this. Instead of just going to 130, it goes to 148, so it stacks on there. And these legendaries are useful. They will not burn out till you hit 116, from my understanding. So you should be able to use them at 115, and then 116, that's it. They burn out. Then again, Blizzard's been really bad with some numbers lately, and I'll get into that in a minute. So it might not quite work that way, but it should work that way. Okay, so for PvP, I was doing a bunch of PvP, which ate the hell out of my data because I'm tethering to play World of Warcraft, and PvP, like, I would literally see it. So for example, sometimes I could use 10 megabytes or 15 megabytes an hour, not much more than that. In 40 by 40 PvP, when everyone's fighting, I was literally using maybe a megabyte every 10 seconds or so. Not joking. I would see 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. And I was like, no! My bandwidth was going like crazy. So I had to chill out on some PvP. I wasn't really paying attention to that right away. And then I was like looking at my data limit. I'm like, oh no. I'm in Canada. Our data is so expensive. Anyways, we go to the, I think it's actually the guy on the left. Here we go. The Legion Gladiator. And I went ahead and bought these already. So basically, these will buy you, or won't buy you, but you will buy the appearance unlocks, which is amazing. Basically, you get all the appearance unlocks for the DK there, and then you can buy the other ones here as well. And so basically, you need 36 marks for the blue set and another 36 marks for the purple. I got 33 right now. And then you go ahead and you can unlock those, and that's it. Now, there is even a better item that I almost highly recommend. I kind of don't want it, but I should get it. This is called a Netomatic 5000. This is a new item I believe was added this expansion, or at least it's showing up on this person. Dismounts enemy players from their flying mounts. Can only be used while in within war mode. The range is insane. 10-second cooldown. So if you got somebody who's being a pester or flying around you and you just, you use this item and it will dismount them. So as much as I wasn't going to get this, I think I should get it. And there you go. Now we have it. So there you have it. Performing this action, blah, blah, blah. So it is a toy, I think? I think it's a toy, but I can't tell. It doesn't say the word toy, does it? But I think it acts as a toy. Oh, performing this action will make it. Oh no, never mind. That's actually the accent, the usage. Sorry, so I completely made that up. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it offers that ability to. I'm gonna go ahead and put you here, and then we'll put you here off the side. There you go. Unfortunately, it looks like it is not a toy, so you have to keep it in your inventory, so you're going to learn to keep it at your bottom there. I thought it was a toy. That would have been kind of cool. I think Blizzard needs to do that a bit more. Add some of that stuff as a toy, less clutter at the bottom of your bag, but whatever. So that's a really cool item. I wanted to show you that because I think you guys would appreciate that and enjoy that quite a bit, and it makes life a little better. So this is the Death Knight. Basically, my rotation is kind of pathetic. Let's get rid of the PvP thing. So basically, you got Pillar of Frost. Pillar of Frost is sort of like your startup item now, because each rune spent while activate increases your strength by additional 1%, and then I think some talents and stuff can have some effect on that as well. And then your Empower rune has a 1-minute cooldown. Empower your rune, gaining 15% haste and generating 1 rune and 5 rune power instantly. and every 5 seconds for blah blah blah. So basically, you probably want to use Pillar of Frost, use a couple of Obliterate and Howling Blast, etc. Then you're probably going to want to use some Power Ruin, halfway through kind of thing, and you just go back and forth, and you just do your thing. But it seems like Pillar of Frost is sort of like your, you kind of start with it pretty much and get in there right away. Unfortunately, these aren't global cooldowns. They screw up everything. It makes it annoying. I really hate it. Blizzard, honestly, I effing hate global cooldown. They said something about teamwork. You know what? Your answer to teamwork is really pissing off the world. That Ion guy, I call him Ion because his name is Ian, but it's spelled Ion, like Ion Cannon. So, buddy, your teamwork thing is starting to piss off a lot of people in the community. He's like the lead game developer or whatever in World of Warcraft. But another thing that they had recently, well, they're saying they never screwed it. It's always been this way. But basically, they're adding a legacy loot mode, which I don't think it's something you can actually see. It just happens. So I don't think there's an option for it. But let's just say I go to an old dungeon like... well, whenever they first added the whole new... Well, they have personal loot in all the dungeons, actually, so that probably is a good point. But before they added... right when they added personal loot to the first instance, whatever that one was back in the day, if you were to run that, you would only get, maybe one loot or no loot, right? And then there's a... you basically lose out. Well, basically now they've added a system where it's a legacy loot mode, which basically lets you loot like it was back in the day. So if you're one player soloing the boss, you'd get a 40-man or 20-man or 5-man worth of loot from the boss rather than just one of the 5-man, one of the 20-man loot. And so basically in translation, it makes it so you have a higher chance to get loot. Awesome. Now, this is where people hate him. Warlords of Draenor, you can't get this legacy loot now, and apparently you don't do insane damage yet either, because he says you're not 10 levels... you need to be 10 levels higher than blah, 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 the content, and they don't want people farming old expansion because they believe that, you shouldn't be doing that, the old content. So, for example, Warlords of Draenor is considered old content, but it's not considered old enough for you to be in quote-unquote farm status. So they don't want you to be, going there and farming that. So, for example, the Legacy loot mode does not work there. So when you hit level 120 in Battle for Azeroth, Legion is considered not like old enough content where you also won't get the Legacy loot mode. And it's like... Wait, what do you mean? It's old. It's 2+ years old, at least, at the time. And that's just how he's doing it. And then he thinks of, he uses words like teamwork and stuff like that. And he's just somebody who is awesome because I think he's helped World of Warcraft a lot. But he also needs a punch in the face once in a while to say, hey, buddy, you have awesome ideas, but everything can't be just quite that way. Old content is old content. Don't be too much of a dick about it. But anyways, that's what we have for a game developer. He's good and bad in some ways, but yeah. So anyways, so these features wouldn't have existed without him. But the way he worded it, it was like, oh, this has always been the case. Well, unfortunately, Legacy loot mode is a new feature, so you can't say that. And he says, well, if it wasn't for item squishing, you wouldn't have all these buffs and stuff, and you wouldn't be able to solo that content. Well, actually, you're wrong. Death Knights could. Death Knights did before all the items squish. We were so powerful. We were epic, You go to Wrath, the Lich King, and things like that, and Kata, and Burning Crusade and stuff as your Death Knight, and you would farm, and you'd be all this, this badass, and there was always videos on it, and it was almost always Death Knights doing it, and it was pretty epic, but... either way, that's just drama when it comes to World of Warcraft for you guys. But either way, yeah, so basically less than a month away, of course, to the launch of the expansion. It's actually more like 3 weeks or something like that. Actually, let's count, because it was the 14th, right? I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4... it's actually more on the 4 weeks still. It's like 4 weeks and like 2 days off of that. So we can actually say 4 weeks still. But anyways, the launch of the expansion will be then. But we will have a bunch of new content videos on the what we're going to be doing with the quests that they're going to have. I'll show off the daily quests, and we'll run the any scenarios and stuff like that for the burning and any special events, and I'll keep you guys in the loop basically if anything cool shows up. And we'll have a lot of fun there. So either way, thank you guys and girls so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't really do videos like this, so I wonder if you guys enjoy them or not. They don't tend to get a lot of views because I'm sure there's a lot of other people who do them, and you can find resources and stuff out there. And I'm sure I missed a ton of things that might be more interesting to you, or maybe you've learned something new that you wouldn't have learned. I don't know. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and feel free to join our community in game. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.